We know the president is meeting with President Putin today. What I'm looking forward out of this meeting is a couple things. One, I'm obviously looking forward to an American president standing toe-to-toe with Putin and in a sense saying he is speaking not only for America, but for NATO and the democracies around the world and that will push back on the type of abusive behavior in terms of Russia's bad actions. What do I mean by that? I mean saying, we will not abide Russia further interference in the internal affairs of Ukraine, where Russian and Russian agents have already created a quasi-civil war. We need to stand up as well for basic human rights in Russia, whether it be the poisoning of Putin's enemies outside the country or the arrest of opposition figures like Navalny inside Russia. America needs to stand up for human rights in Russia, both in the country and in adjacent countries. And also, the president needs to stand firm on this issue of cybersecurity. We have seen Russia, both through Russian spy agencies, perform major hacks into American companies. There was something called the SolarWinds hack at the end of last year, where Russian agents broke into 18,000 American-based companies, all up and down our supply chain. Luckily, that incursion only resulted in stealing information, classic espionage, but nothing would have prevented the Russians from turning that attack into a denial of service attack where they could have shut down those companies. That would have been an economic catastrophe. We need to say those kind of actions are off limits. We've seen more recently specific cyber attacks like the attack against the Colonial Pipeline, which shut down many of our gas stations in Virginia, such as the shutdown of some of our meat processing facilities, such as the shutdown of ferry systems and other systems around our country, often by cyber criminals based out of Russia. They may not be Russian spies, but they are performing these actions with the acquiescence of the Russian government. We need to draw a bright line. To do that, we need to pass legislation in this country where we have mandatory reporting to our government on these kind of incidents, and we need to work with our allies in making sure that there are international standards so that these kind of activities, Russian-based, Chinese-based, Iranian-based, there is a promise that we will punch back with this kind of interruption, both of our economy or in certain cases, as in the case of shutting down the Irish healthcare system, where we're literally potentially costing people's lives. So with that is a little bit too long an opening. I'm happy to go ahead, Val, and take some of the questions.